Hello and welcome to Don't Evolve Me, the place like Ash, Cousin Pikachu, we don't evolve. We just level up. Here with Pixel Loose, Michael Schumer.
Good to be back, buddy.
Hello, yeah, happy to see you. Let's do a plug.
A
TikTok
little play, yeah.
plug.
So I got my own little channel going on TikTok. Still very early days, so hopefully I don't crash out here. But probably after this video, I'll be recording my review of Kena Bridge of Spirits, and just got some other stuff kind of in the works that I'm hoping to throw up on there. So yeah, should be pretty sick.
Nice. Michael Schumer, Pixel Loose on TikTok, soon to be on YouTube. But here we are talking The Last of Us, Season 2, Episode 5. I forgot the title of this episode, and I don't have it up. Oh no! It's like
I
it's
just had it.
love. It's something. It's
like Feel Her Love. It's Feel Her Love.
Feel Her Love. I'm honestly, what the fuck are they doing with these titles, man?
I don't know. At first, I kind of dug it because it was all
Day
like music.
one,
I think it was all
day
like music.
two, but no, it's not. I don't know what they're doing, man. I'm giving them a 2- every time. I don't know why.
Titles are lacking. I liked them at first, but they are lacking.
Can we? I want to do a spoiler. So we're doing The Last of Us. We're talking Last of Us. We're talking the review. This is a fresh take. Fresh takes. Get your fresh takes here. This is going to be a spoiler. Not a spoiler for the show or the game. This is just a spoiler for our episode. I think for most valuable character, at least for an honorable mention, but you know what? I'm going to argue for number one. I think we got to give it to Nora. She really took one for the team, you know?
Would you put her? I think it'd be most valuable villain, wouldn't you say?
Most valuable.
I guess depending on your perspective.
Punching bag, beating bag.
Yes.
Spore bag.
Spore bag.
Sorry, I thought the joke was better. Then I'm like, no, that's lame. That's like dad joke territory.
Well, you are a dad, so.
Yeah, I am. Kids are not around to shame me though, and nor are they old enough to shame me yet. So it's not as fun.
No.
It's more just I say it, and I get crickets on the internet. Yeah, one day I will shine with these dad jokes. One day. All right.
Maybe one day you can start saying the equivalent of skibbity riz to them. That would be a beautiful thing. I'd love to see. So.
I mean, do we not in our own way say skibbity riz? Like, what is the millennial equivalent to skibbity riz? Wait, no, I got it. Wait, no. Ooh. That is a question.
You think you get?
What is the millennial version of skibbity riz? I don't know if I got it. The first thing I thought up was, what's up?
That's like
but I don't think
boomer.
That what? That's not boomer.
We might have to add 10 years on to your age, brother.
Boomer is like
That'd be Gen X,
is like groovy.
60s, yeah.
Yeah. It's groovy, man.
Okay. I'm just saying
and
boomer in relation to the...
Groovy's so old that it's new.
I'm young
it's
at heart.
Cool
so.
now. No. I mean, he did say skibbity riz and he brought that shit in there. I don't know, man. We're two neurodivergents. We don't fucking know the culture. We make up the culture. Our culture gets like put into the rest, but we don't. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't participate in the discussions on the proper vernacular.
Let me just say, when people are like white people and they shake their head, like when it's anyone like of a different color and they just shake their head like white people, like I understand that. Like I'm like, you're right, white people. They're just, I don't get it. They're so vanilla.
We're not with it.
I mean, I'm very white right now, but like,
I'm just gonna.
I don't know. ADHD rabbit hole. We're going into. We're not cultural. At least I'm not. Anyway, go Wolves. Game 5. Wolves in 5. Wolves and. Never mind. I don't know. I was trying to make a Last of Us reference. Let's talk Last of Us. Episode 5. What happened in this episode? We get a flashback. A flashback I was really confused by when we first watched it. A lakefront hospital flashback. Hanrahan questions Elise Park. Elise discovered that there's spores in the hospital basement are airborne and will affect you with ingestion. Her son ended up telling her to seal them in, and Hanrahan decided to keep the basement a secret for them to know. Then we switch to Ellie and Dina. They're in the theater, planning out their attack and their hunts for Nora, who they know is at the hospital. They plan to go to a warehouse that wolves avoid for reasons. On the way, they encounter dead Seraphites under, what is it, her love, a mural of the Seraphites prophet.
Yeah.
With, I forget what exactly what it stated, but it was like under her love or something like that.
I think it's usually feel her love, and then
Oh, yeah, and then there's a bunch of dead Seraphites under it with essentially them being mocked. Do they feel her
But did
love?
you catch that it said like, yeah, it was like feel this bitch or something like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
forget what it was.
yeah, something. Yeah, it was just
Maybe.
So they encounter dead Seraphites under the mural. Ellie questions bringing Dina. And it was like, maybe we should go back. I don't know how I feel about this. And Dina recommits to like, no, we're in this. Dina mentions through the first time she's ever killed somebody and told Ellie the story of the time that she had to kill a raider who just murdered her mom and her sister in the warehouse. They sneak through. They figure out why the wolves avoid the warehouse, which is because it's full of stalkers. Not just one, not just two, not just three. Several. I didn't end up counting how many, but it was almost like into double digits. It was a decent amount of stalkers. In this moment,
Yeah,
Ellie's
it was like 10 or son of.
Yeah. And then Ellie's just like, get into the cage, lock yourself in. I will sacrifice myself to try to kill as many as possible. And it got to a moment where it's like, yeah, it looked like they're getting into the cage. Dina was going to get a moment or was going to get bit. It looked like Ellie was kind of done for. It looked like they were about to bite the dust. But of course, they're the main characters. They can't bite the dust quite yet. Jesse comes in, saves the day, and then mentions that he is with Tommy. They run out of there, run through, find some wolves, run from wolves to a park where the wolves stop for some reason. They then hear some whistling, and a bunch of cultists come by. Seraphites, or in some people call them the Scars, hangs and disembowels one of the wolves. Seraphites then whistle and shoot at Ellie, Dina, and Jesse. Dina gets shot in the leg. They get the arrow out of the leg. Ellie runs away, causing a distraction, while Jesse carries Dina to safety, presumably, we don't know. She discovers that the hospital is actually really close by, decides, fuck it, we're going to get Nora without their help. They get into the hospital. Ellie finds Nora, gets the jump on Nora, puts her at gunpoint. Nora then mocks. Wait, is this the point where she mocks Joel? I forget where she mocks.
No, she mocks Joel right before she starts running.
Yep. Mocks
Which is
Joel.
probably her biggest mistake, honestly, but we'll get there.
Possibly. But mocks Joel, takes a run for it. They're running through the hospital. Wolves taking shots at Ellie. Nora jumps into an elevator, which breaks, collapses. Ellie jumps down. And there we find the spores that has been missing this entire time in the show. Nora gets infected with the spores. Ellie does not, because she is already immune. Nora runs away. Ellie finds her. We also find the several of the soldiers that were talked about, wolf members from before, one of them being Park as the name on the name badge. Ellie finds Nora, who is clearly infected by spores and is not doing so well. Nora then realizes that Ellie is not affected by this, and in fact, she is the immune girl. Calls out to her, do you know what Joel has done? He has killed everyone in that hospital. He's killed the only person who can get a cure from you. Ellie stares her in the eyes and says, I know. Ellie then proceeds. Well, presumably, hits her a couple times, and then presumably continues to brutalize her. And that is the episode. And that is what happened on Last of Us. Season 2, Episode 5. Under Her Love.
Feel her love.
Feel Her Love. Under Her Love is a better... I don't care. These titles suck. I'm going to make my own title. Under Her Love. Is it not better?
Please.
Feel Her Love, Under Her Love. You just play on words like they were under her. And possibly with her, because they're dead, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's really possible.
I might be a Wolves fan. I don't know. For the listening audience, they're like, why do you keep calling yourself a Wolves fan? I am a Minnesota Wolves fan. We're playing that game 5. Wolves in 5, everybody. All right, that's what happened. Michael, what did I miss? I feel like I missed something. What did I miss, Michael?
Oh. The only thing I think you missed in that was just the very last. Oh, there we go. Sorry, we're having some technical difficulties here, folks. The only thing I think of is just we got to see Joel one last time in that episode.
Oh, yes.
Maybe not one last time, but you know, he shows up again.
You're right. I forget. The show ends with what is hopefully going to be, well, no, it's going to be the flashback episode that we've been waiting for this entire time. But it shows Joel going up to a younger Ellie. Hey, kid. And we're gonna get a fun episode. Now, I'm gonna be so sad. That's gonna be the last episode before we get like, oh my, sad. I can't say anything. I already said too much. I'm ready for next week. That's all I can say.
Yeah, all right. It's agonizing.
It is. All right, Michael, I feel like there's a decent amount of questions in this episode, but I don't feel like there's a lot that happened.
I kind of felt the same, honestly. I think like oh, go ahead, Chief.
I almost want to spoil my rating a little bit. I almost did before. I think this is the worst episode in the entire show. Like, it's one of those episodes that, like, I just realized I wasn't gravitating too much to. And I'm not saying it's a bad episode. It's still a decent episode. But it's probably my least favorite of the entire season thus far. And I said Kin was my least favorite in season 1. Rewatching it, I'm like, ooh, that's a maybe episode 2.
That's what I'm saying, brother. It's a good episode.
It is a really good episode. But those emotional moments does not hit according those emotional moments in Kin hit a lot. Whereas there's not really any emotional moment. This one is more or less like we kind of just got from point A to B in the plot. That's more or less what it felt like. And I almost thought somebody else wrote this other than Craig Mazin, because I'm like, this is just kind of a lower quality episode. It just like,
yeah, I agree.
At least narratively speaking, which I think I'm fine with overall. I think I realized that like there's going to be an episode, and I wouldn't be surprised. Like if I had to lay it out, like what these episodes will look like, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if this is the episode that would be more disappointing, because it's not, narratively speaking, this is probably the weakest part of the story for the most part. And not because it's bad. For a game, it's fine, right? Mm-hmm. Because in the game, you're playing through, right? The story, like,
yes.
There's a lot of gameplay action here. Just like Bill's Town from the game, they decided to do a whole different story to it and don't even show it. Because there isn't much of a story, there's a lot of gameplay. And this is the part where there's a lot of gameplay. And the story is Ellie and Nora.
Yeah.
But there was also so much I feel like they had to do. And there's a couple things that I'm just like, I don't know. Should we get into the questions and we'll just talk about it?
Yeah, let's hit it, brother.
All right, do you want to start or should I?
Ooh, I think I have a good one for you.
I have a good one too. But you can.
What did we? Oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
What were you say?
You go. Okay. I offered.
Sorry. What did you think about Nora's demise there? That how that played out with the spores and all that.
Oh, we're going spore talk already?
Oh yeah, hell yeah! Right off the bat. Let's be honest. That's like the best part of the episode, in my opinion. Anyways,
The
as soon as
spore
those
talk.
fucking red lights came on, I was like, "We're cooking. We're in the pocket."
That is fair. I like rewatched it a little bit, and even like I did not let my 2-year-old watch this show or this episode, but I did for a moment before I got online with you. I'm like, I have to just rewatch parts of this episode just so I can like get the old memory, like, ticking. And that scene, I did not finish the scene, but like the whole talking point, I'm like, I just want to remember like what was said back and forth. So I watched it for 3 to 4 minutes, that final scene, and my daughter Maven was just staring the entire time in anticipation, like what's happening. And she does not hold her attention span for long, so like it got my daughter's attention. A 2.5-year-old. I did not finish it. I kind of felt bad, but I'm like, I'm not letting you watch something get
No,
brutalized
yeah,
here.
no. The conversation part is fine, I think.
I
Oh,
I wanted more. I wanted more blood.
but
I
I
wanted
lost
more
Jake.
gore.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised they really desensitized that part, or maybe I should say sanitized it. Actually, rather like
Yeah,
in the game, but I think it's because in the game you have that. So at this point in the game, this is a very low point for Ellie specifically,
hmm
where you as the player have to hit square to beat her, to beat
hmm
Nora to death, and it is very like you don't like Nora, but I think even when I was playing through it the first time, I was like, God, do we cry? Like,
You're like,
are
ooh,
we
okay.
doing this?
1 hit, yeah, makes sense. 2 hit, yeah. 3 hit,
Like, boom,
4.
boom.
Mm,
You're like, oh God, okay, yeah. She ain't talking
yeah.
after two. I think you're like, we're done, we're done.
To be fair, she does mock Joel's death.
So this is okay. This was.
This
I'm
is
gonna
where it's
follow this.
This is where it's different, though. I feel like in the game she mocked Joel's death specifically, right? That he was
Yeah,
like,
she said, yeah, that little bitch got what he deserved. She said
oh,
the
yep.
same line, but I think she
Oh,
goes
okay.
like, it's definitely harsher in the TV show because she's like empathizing with Ellie before she
Yeah.
gets her with that gut punch, which
I
I do
remember
think that would have been the way. Oh, go ahead.
I remember her empathizing in the game, or I thought it was very similar, but like, yeah, I thought the game just hit a little bit harder, where you're like, okay, yeah, you kind of asked for it, but also like, okay, all right, Ellie, like maybe give her like a few extra hits, but like several to death.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's
tortured, very, very clearly tortured. Whatever time Nora has left, it will be spent in
pain,
deep,
agony.
deep
Well,
agony.
ooh. This is actually a really good question. The idea of what it is to be infected, right?
Oh,
Because it's not like zombies where you're dead and like, effectively something takes over your corpse, right? Like that's what zombies more or less is. This is different. You're not
mhm.
dead. You are just being controlled. You're living through this. This is a living hell. So my question is, does Nora die, or is Nora brutalized and then infected, and then is a brutalized infected? Well, a brutalized, you know what I'm saying?
I
Like the
feel
question,
like.
and also is
Oh, go ahead.
not her, like killing her is almost the sparing part. So my question, like I'm always curious because we assume that she's dead, but if Ellie was just outright there to you be like fuck you, would she not leave her alive?
Yeah, and just suffer through the infection. I think I should be careful here. I'll
I
just
don't
say
know.
I think she's dead. I think she's actually dead, but it definitely was not a.
That's the interpretation that I got out of it, but I just had the thought of like, what if she didn't kill her? What if she let
That
her live? Because how fucking like brutal would that be? Not just like you're living, like your last memory not being infected is getting brutalized to nearly death, but then you don't die. the infected saves you, but then you're living as a mushroom puppet that you get to feel all of it while dealing with all
Mm-hmm.
the broken bones and the mushroom more or less taking control of your. Like, I just feel like that'd be fucking
Oh,
agony, you know? Like, super agonizing experience. So I took it. I always took it as like
not the way.
Nora's dead.
Yeah, I think she definitely. I think she's gotta be. I just don't. I mean, yeah.
So here's
I don't know.
here's
I
my
think
question.
in
Oh,
in all practicality, I just can't see. I just wonder if Ellie would actually even infect it. You know what I mean? Even if she's like, "Fuck this guy" specifically, I feel like the practical part of her would be like, "Okay, I'm killing this fucking thing because I'm not dealing with this."
in Jackson, I agree. Seattle, I don't know.
Yeah, fair.
Maybe show Ellie, game Ellie. I feel like if she knew what she was doing, I think she would let her live. Not saying that
God,
she
that's
deserves
fucked.
it. All right, my here's actually my question. This wasn't going to be my first question, but this is actually my question of that scene.
All right, hit it.
Did the spores work? Was this worthy of the spores being more or less kind of what's the word? Is this like a worthy way to put in spores?
I think so. I liked how they did it. I kind of wish they had gone more with the graphical effects, with like because you kind of tell there was like a glinting in the light from the
Uh huh.
spores, and I kind of wish there was more of that to show like this kind of like almost crystalline
Yeah.
dust in the air.
I like the spores. I like seeing the effect. I thought it was cool. I thought like the spores coming out at you is actually just a really cool effect. And I wish they would have just went with this the entire time.
Yeah,
That being said, these spores didn't work for me.
really.
I kind of wish they would have just left out the spores.
But how do you
I
get out in
just
a
have her
narrative sense?
just
Just
have
have
her
her get
get
bit.
bit.
That's fair.
Like the spores aspect was dope. Don't get me wrong. Like it would be such a much more lamer death without the spores. But I don't think this was worth it narratively to go and have this one off spores thing where it's airborne and then have this whole narrative like, oh, they just sealed this area and this is the only area that spores worked. Never mind air vents, never mind the elevator shaft, never mind the invasive species that is like like the mushrooms, the fungus, cordyceps itself. Like
Mm.
it just for me it felt like a cop out. Like you didn't have
I would.
spores this entire time. You didn't have spores. You didn't add spores in the subway scene, which is where it would be a really cool moment to do that, especially with Dina and Ellie. That would have been a really cool moment. You didn't do it there. You did it with Nora, which I know Nora is very like in tune with spores, but you have her get bit and it's the same effect. So I didn't think like Nora was the thing that deserved the spores to come back. And I just thought it was kind of a weak writing aspect of like why this like we got a whole flashback that
I
could
have a
have
counterpoint to this, but go ahead.
yeah.
Keep going.
I have a whole like we have a whole flashback this whole episode to explain spores. Why? Why do we need that? Why do we need that flash? We could have had that flashback on Seraphites. We could have had that flashback of more Isaac. Why haven't explained spores, which hasn't been in the show the entire time? And it more or less, if she would have just fell and there would have been an infected that was sealed down there and they were shamblers or parts of the thing that I'm not going to say, but the thing that like we know what is coming in that hospital. And I already said
Hmm.
too much, but like just like something get bit. And like I know
So
the answer. I think the answer is we know there's more to it, and there's probably more to it, and there's probably going to be more lore that comes later on. But I don't. In this moment, in this episode alone, I don't see the reason why they brought back spores. I like the spores. I would prefer them to do spores from the very beginning. I think the tendrils are cool. I think the aspect of it is cool, but I think it's more TV movie zombies than it is like from the game. It's whatever. I'm not against it. But I'm like, if you're gonna bring back spores for this, like if you're gonna bring it back, make it worthy. I just don't think this is a worthy thing for spores when they could have just done spores the entire time. And I thought the subway scene would have been better. Like if it's a Seattle only thing, make it a Seattle only thing. Don't make it a one hospital has spores and that's it.
All
And
right,
it doesn't
I have
even
my
make sense.
counterpoint.
Okay, go for it.
I'm gonna have my
All right.
counterpoint. I think you'll like it.
Okay.
One thing we have seen with this infection over and over and over and over again in the
Mm-hmm.
games and the TV show is that it's continuing to grow, to adapt, to change with enough time and with enough focus and with enough enough of the fungi, it continues to adapt.
I have a
We did
segue
the
for
bloaters
this.
were considered. The infected became clickers, which was like humanity. I think they talked about this in the games or the show's podcast too. But
Mm.
but they first they would have been like, okay, runners, we can deal with these guys. I'm sure after a point like this shit's easy, just pop them,
Yep.
boom. But then they turned into stalkers, which would then have
Well,
turned into clickers. So
oh,
people
yep,
that
yep.
ran into the stalkers probably like they might have known about them, but they were less common. But then you get clickers. Like the longer this disease or the cordyceps is in the world, the more powerful it gets. And I think and I think you said the shamblers, which we have not seen this season. I suspect we will see in
What's a
season 2.
shambler?
You said it already. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
Did I
gonna
say
say it. The
shambler?
audience will find out. Yeah, you did.
No,
But
okay.
that's all right. It don't matter. No, but if you don't know what it is, it doesn't matter. But those can't exist without the spores. It shows a continued evolution of the cordyceps, I guess. Is my
That's
take
fair.
on it.
I don't mind
I
it.
agree with you that I wish it was in the subways. I think they could have done something like, why are these fuckers all wearing masks? And
Like
then kind of showed the spores and had them be like, oh, okay, whatever this is, we do not want to breathe this in.
I love the evolution of I like the evolution of the cordyceps. I do. And I actually have a question that's based off this and an idea for potentially a part 3 or later ideas for The Last of Us.
Okay.
And we'll briefly talk about it and we'll probably talk about more later on. And it kind of goes into like other shows territories, but I think it'd be an interesting idea if they were ever to get to this point. For the spores themselves, I wish I don't mind them coming back, but it's hard to buy within the story that it happened only in one spot. And I'm like, there's too many questions, and I didn't think it was worthy. I thought it was cool to see, but then you don't the question is why wasn't this a thing to begin with? Why isn't it in more places? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't
That's how
mind
I
them.
took it. It's like it was just in it was old enough, it was in the right location,
Mhm.
right environment to
I
be
don't.
created. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't mind that. I don't hate it. It was like unnecessary, and there was this whole buildup of like, oh, the spores are coming back, but I'm like, then there should have just been more. Not that like it changes from tendrils and they kind of do a course correct from season 1. I don't want that necessarily, but I want it to be a worthy moment, and I just didn't think it was because I thought like the solution was really simple. She just got bit. It's the same fate. There's not much different than spores into
Mm-hmm.
getting bits. So and like Ellie and Dina, like she had to sacrifice herself from Dina not getting bit. Like we already had that switch. So I don't know. That's just where I'm at. My question, and you already answered it, honestly, but I'll just lead it to the point that I was making. My question is, why isn't there more infected stalkers? Duh, they turn into clickers. But I kind of thought of the question of like, why isn't there like more stalker based infected in the sense of like these stalkers are super smart.
Mm-hmm.
What happens? Like, is there any way that they increase their intelligence to
Oh,
the
that's
point
definitely got to be like a part 3 thing where it's smart
where it's like
infected.
a sentient one where you have like actual like they have their own way, like it's the same mushroom but it's like mushroom people now. You're getting into like that story, like I Am Legend territory, where the vampire zombie, like the vampires
I don't know if
become
they would go
civilization.
full sentient,
I
but it
don't
would be interesting to see them go like more animalistic
White
and less
Walker.
like kind of sort of, yeah. Like I don't even know how you would explain. It would be a distinct like a branching point from which we technically have already seen in the games.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I think it would be, I won't say anything else.
Like I don't want them to be like super smart, where it's like the sci-fi of like Flicker
No.
army versus this army, but just the idea of like, what if the suckers were just a little bit more infected, and you have like a
Yep.
little bit more sentience to not, like a little bit more high advanced like consciousness, where they can like plan out even further, like they can plan out like group attacks. Like, what if stalkers were working
That
on
would
a
be
group level
fucking
where
scary.
they're raiding people for the sole purpose of like infecting the shroom?
Yep.
So that's kind of like where my question went. Here's what was going to be my first question for you,
All right, hit me.
kids. I'm sorry, earmuffs. Who the fuck is Hanrahan, and
I
why does
don't
she
know,
keep
dude.
showing up? I'm not
My,
mad that she's there. I'm just like, who the fuck is this person? And we're saying this. We played the games. I don't know. And I mean this in the sense of like, she keeps popping up from the Isaac flashback to this flashback. Is she just a person that pops up? Or does she have story significance for later on in the season? Or
I don't know
not
about
later on in
later
the
on in this.
season, but season 3. Does she have season 3 significance? I presume that she's dead. Like I presume that Isaac killed her at some point to take over as the wolves.
So, I think okay.
That's what
This is
I'm
what I was gonna say.
presuming. And
I
this
think
isn't
she's still alive. I think that flashback at the beginning of the episode was recently because I don't. They never showed a
ooh.
year. Like it's like implied to be
Mm.
very recent, and like the kid that's down there is very recently infected. And
Wait.
she does say Isaac sent me here or whatever. Or Isaac wants to know. Like she brought up Isaac.
Ooh, can I give you the table TV version of theory of who I think she is?
Sure, go for it.
This is the cable television. This is the CW guest.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
It got to be Abby's mom, right? Right?
God, I hope they don't do that. That would be. I could. Oh, don't even put that into the universe.
It's okay. I'm
I
just
would
like,
hope.
I want to do this some more in the show. Like, let's put this through like the CW lens,
CWI's this.
the cable version, the very like soap opera version of like what's like the stupidest like plot twist we can add to this that makes you go, but also like, wait, what? The This random person is just Abby's mom, and that's why there's a wolf connection. I hate it too, by the way, but I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just want to know who she is because like there's like not this huge significance in the games. We really just know about Isaac. We don't really know about the start. I'm fine with knowing who she is, and I'm fine with the wolves
She
having like.
honestly just be a side character.
What if she's the prophet that decided to turn into a wolf?
I don't think that would be because the prophet is. I
Sorry,
think they
cable
already said
TV.
she's.
Cable
Yeah,
TV
yeah,
villain
yeah, oh,
twist.
yeah.
I
There we
was the
go.
prophet
That would
all
make sense.
along. I didn't die. I just turned into a
Nobody
wolf.
recognized me.
Ho ho ho. That would be awful. Okay. Horrible plot twist with Jake and Michael. That's actually not.
We should make that a pod.
That should.
Take
Just.
take
We
like
just.
take like a good show and just destroy. Like so, this is how we're gonna make this. We're gonna inshitify this show. But what's gonna
No.
happen is one time we're gonna do it, and it's actually gonna happen. And we're gonna be like, what the fuck, brother?
No. This is what we're going to do. We're going to take every upcoming movie, like every
Sure.
upcoming big TV show, big movie, and we're just going to try to guess the plot in the the most dumbest things that could happen. And
So
that's going to be our
Hallmark
community.
movie-eyes it.
Yeah, like, oh, yep, of course. Yep, big, city guy going to a small town, finds
He's
a
gonna
small
fall in
town
love
girl.
with his high school girlfriend, and
He's gonna fall in love. But he's got to dump the toxic ex city ex, and then she's gonna accidentally kiss the wrong guy. There's gonna be some conflict, but it's okay. They're gonna kiss by the end, and it's gonna be a
They'll
happy
save the
Christmas for all.
Christmas. They're gonna save the family Christmas farm or Christmas tree farm
Oh yeah, and they ended up
because there's some
saving.
mineral rights or something.
They saved Grandma's house from the evil mayor or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Or is that just Happy Gilmore? Wait, I don't know.
I'm
just
gonna
saying,
go drink a bottle of mouthwash now.
I'm just saying that could just be something that we do. We just try to guess all the worst possible. The CW takes the Hallmark, like Hanrahan is Abby's mom. Oh my god, I really hope it's not Abby's mom. I would
Yeah,
freak the fuck out if that's like it's Abby's mom and that's like the twist. You're just like,
I'd be like, "What are you doing?"
whose fucking idea is this? Fire them immediately. Retcon this shit. Like, apologize to everybody. Reshoot it. Put it back in. Because, like, my fucking god.
Can we do that for the last season of Game of Thrones?
No, they. Oh my god. The Game of Thrones.
It was so bad.
If we did
HBO
this,
comes out and like, we are so sorry. We're actually gonna do this as a do-over.
they should have. Straight up, they should have. I don't care. Like they should like that should have never been released. They should have never been like ended in season
when
8.
the main actors are trash talking the show, or like you see like the thing of Emilia Clarke and they're like, "What do you think of the last season?" And she's like, "Best season ever." And she's all like, you can tell she's like, "I think it's ends, but I got paid to do it." So
yeah, yeah. I really hope that they don't do that with like The Last of Us. Like, hey, we ran out of content for season 3, season 4, so season 5 is going to be our own new story. We're going to tell our own version of how of Ellie's story, and we're going to make it as fan servicey as possible. That's right, folks. Joel's coming back from the dead. He is revived, baby.
He actually never died. That was his twin brother that we didn't know about. And just conveniently happened. Yes.
He survived.
Conveniently, actually, his name is Joe L. Like, L was his middle initial, so he just,
Or even worse, Joel's dead, but they bring back, or like Tommy becomes the next Joel for her or something. I don't know. Like,
yeah. Ooh.
This wouldn't be that hard. Anyway, back to what we were actually talking about. Five questions to appease Michael. I think I'm 3 in, but yeah, like Hanrahan. I don't know who she is. It's interesting. I hope she's there as somebody who's like. I hope season 3 makes it worth it. Like I hope it's just like some cool story later on. But I get the sense
it doesn't have to be much, but yeah, just a little bit more would be nice.
Dude, just like even if it's a background story of like how Isaac fucked her, not specifically exactly that, but I mean like how he just like maneuvered his way to being like the leader. You know what I'm saying?
Cool. Yeah, that'd be cool.
And like maybe not even like he manipulated because like we don't even really get that backstory in the game. I know like it's probably stated somewhere somehow that like how he became a leader, but just like even if we just get a little bit of that story, like even if we get that story with her in it and we get to see that play out, like I would be happy with that. But I'm just like in general, I'm like, why does this person keep showing up? It would be cooler if it was Isaac.
I'm curious. But I don't disagree, but I like that using Jeffrey Wright sparingly makes him a more intimidating villain. I feel like
that's fair. That's true. That is true. But I swear, if that is Abby's mom, I will lose my shit.
I might. Yeah, but I guess I'm done with this show.
Oh my! Go back to the games. Oh, yeah. All right. I think it's your turn. I think you're.
I'm take 2 questions deep. Let me see what I had a good one. How did you feel about Jesse coming back? I was very happy.
But
I did. I've seen a lot of consternation about that online.
Here's my question with Jesse, because I had a Jesse one.
Sure.
Was his arrival contrived? Was
it contrived?
Was it like was that him like is this too maybe not contrived, convenience. He shows up conveniently there. And like it happens in the games. It happens differently in the games. But it happens in the games. He just shows up.
I think you're always gonna get that. It's like just in general, it's kind of always gonna happen. You know what I mean? With in this case of like getting these people to meet in this big ass fucking city that know, at least in the games, the logic was like there was I think they called them tourists,
Yep.
or they had a name for people that came to the city that weren't supposed to be there. Um,
Well, like what
so at
happens?
least that made. Oh, good.
Well, this is what happens in the game, right? Tommy's already there.
Yeah,
In the show, he comes with Jesse. In the game, he's already there. He's creating havoc. He's a sniper. He's shooting them. We hear reports. So when we get to this area, we hear reports of tourists. We assume it's Tommy. And so when we get into this heaping shit of like when Ellie, I say we because in the game we're the player, but Ellie, she gets more or less like she's just getting shot at by a lot of fucking people, and it's very obvious because like they're not there for her. She's following them to find more or less Tommy so they can leave. And lo and behold, Jesse finds her because they end up shooting at her. Like it just in the game, it logically makes sense, right? We already
yeah,
seen all that fighting. Whereas in this, Jesse somehow finds the theater. He then happens to find the map. He is able to successfully read the map and pinpoint exactly where they are. And when they are trapped at the darkest moments, he shows up.
yeah. That was a little bit
It's
very
it,
coincidental.
Craig Mazin is like I don't Craig Mazin, when it comes to Chernobyl and Last of Us, has made and written some really great episodes. But this specific episode he wrote is not great in moments. Like there's just some moments where I'm just like, oof, you could have written that Jesse's arrival a little bit better because that is convenient. That's a lot of suspend belief that he's able to find them right at the right moment. So I'm and like it happens all the time. I just expect more from Last of Us. Like this is like Marvel style writing. This is MCU, ha ha ha, you laugh through it, don't think too much about it writing. In this show, like they go into a lot of detail to explain a lot of things. In this episode, they just with the spores, I thought they like didn't need to explain that or add that. And then with Jesse, it's just like you
Nope.
could have done a lot more to make that work. So that's how I believe it. Or that's more or less how I see it. I'm a Debbie Downer on this episode.
Oh man, we just keep losing each other here.
I, yeah, I've been
Oh,
hearing you the entire
can you hear?
time. Yeah.
Yeah, it just keeps cutting in and out. It's
Hmm.
you might I don't, we might have, you might have to do an editing pass after this one, just a heads up. So,
We'll see.
um, if it I don't know how it'll come through. Well, it should record your stuff locally, but I might just be staring off into the distance like, what's he saying over there? So,
Yeah.
anyways,
It records it all, man. All of your, we got it all. You're on Don't Evolve Me. All right.
it's like a it's like a what do you call them? Like one of those
I need
burst
a
into a
high.
room like surprise, you're on camera.
God damn it. This is why I need an editor. I need someone to like edit all of your, oh, 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 oh. I need to edit that. Like, because
You
there's at
should.
least a good 10 to 20 of them in there.
Oh, 100%, 100%, brother.
I don't know if I have the time or the energy or the patience to cut that video together.
I can't blame you. I can't blame you. Um,
Maybe I could get AI to do it. I don't know. All right.
maybe. Oh, you heard right.
Worst first kill,
Oh,
Ellie or Dina? Worst first kill,
didn't hear
Ellie.
anything you just said.
Oh, worst first kill, Ellie or Dina?
Dina, definitely, dude. You have to kill the guy. I mean, it would be in terms of just like sheer trauma. Definitely Dina.
I
Ellie felt
mean,
shitty about what she did, but Dina like got the consequence of having to kill somebody. Also, with her dead
I
mom and
I think this one's tough because think about Ellie, right? Who else did she ever love in her life besides Riley? Who
Well,
did who?
Joel.
No,
Yeah.
but I mean like before that.
True, there wasn't really anybody.
That was it. She didn't have anyone. She was an orphan kid in a military school. Riley was her love interest. So think at
Oh,
the age
that's
of
right. I'm thinking. I forgot about Riley because I was thinking about how it was.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. That's yep.
Dina
Never mind.
doesn't know about Riley too. That's another
I,
interesting part. But yeah, Riley, like you get bit. You're thinking you're gonna die with your love, and not just like love of your life, romantic love, like legitimate. Like that's the only person she knows. That's the only person she's close to. She didn't turn. Riley did, and she had to shoot Riley in the head. I don't know. I think Ellie has the worst first kill, but Dina's might have been more traumatic in the sense of like she had a. I don't remember if she stated that she watched her sister and mom die, but like watching those two die and then killing her
mhm.
murderer, like that's rough. But also, I love the parallels of her background story too, because Ellie lost Joel, but wasn't able to kill Abby. Whereas Dina got to kill, you know, her like
Yeah.
her mom's and sister's killer. So there's an interesting parallel, and it also feels like Dina might owe Ellie in the sense that like Dina got to do that, Ellie has not. So
Yeah.
it's an interesting parallel between the two, and I'm assuming that's purposeful because I remember this being in the game as well, and this being talked about in the game. But yeah,
About her killing her.
yeah, she's like from
Remember
Texas.
this? It'll,
Yeah, it was like a small part. I think I do remember her like mentioning how she killed like her sister's killer. I don't remember it was her
I think in
mom.
the game she was raised by her sister, so maybe it was her mom that got killed. I just
Maybe.
pulled it up in the wiki because I was trying to remember,
No, her
and
sister
it said,
died too.
but it's but it,
And I believe she was from San Antonio. I believe that's where she grew, or like where the Fedro was. Right? It was Texas. Or no,
in the wiki I'm reading online. Oh,
or
go
was
ahead.
it Albuquerque, New Mexico? It might have been New
Maybe
Mexico,
in New
Albuquerque.
Mexico. But
Yeah.
it says here Talia, after their mother died, Talia was left to raise her younger sister Dina. She's taken Dina to God's prey. Uh oh yeah, okay, yep, you're right. Yep, you're right. I
Yeah.
forgot about that. One
It's a
point for
small
another
tidbit.
point
Small
for
tidbit.
Jacob.
Small tidbit. Um, I don't think I have any more episodes. Like, oh, I do. I have not episodes. One more question. I have one more question.
Sure.
Do you have any more for me?
I got one, but I want to save it for the end.
That's fair. All right. Tommy's coming with came with Jesse, and then but he's not with Jesse. Are we cool with the changes?
I like it. I do okay. I minus the how contrived it was that they found each other. I do
Mhm.
like the changes of having Tommy and Jesse be like, God fucking damn it, and then just getting on the right. Guess we gotta go save them. Let's go. Like, or it may not save them, but be like, we gotta get them the fuck out of there. Like they're gonna get themselves killed.
I
And so
I wish Tommy would have went first. Maybe this is me just wanting things to be like the game, but I thought Tommy going first was a lot more fucking interesting. I love seeing Tommy's badassery like in episode 2, and I'm happy that we kind of got that even though we missed out on him getting Joel. I almost wish we would have got his badassery and then got his badassery in Seattle as well. Like in the sense from like the game sense. I assume we're still going to get it in a way. But I really just like the idea of him being so like revenge driven that he's gonna go there. And I just feel like that storyline's so much more interesting than this one. Because this one it's going to save, Ellie and Dina. Whereas in the game to it was vengeance. It was the same quest that Ellie was on.
I
Or
think I think it's a more logical choice for the TV show, and I think
Maybe.
it's going to have a more profound impact on their relationship. Because in the show, he's got a kid.
Yeah.
It's like he loves his brother, but he's not going to leave. In a world filled with fucking monsters that can rip you apart, that were
Hmm.
just recently attacked by a swarm of them, I think even though he supports the mission, if you're not going to do it right, you're better off just like protecting what you have. And while he can
That's
understand
fair.
Ellie's like rage and hatred because she wants to revenge and he does too,
That's fair.
it's not at any cost,
That's fair.
kind of
In the
thing.
game, he's not a father, and I will say, as a father myself, even with I don't know if I'd been so downstruck with, well, maybe with revenge and vengeance.
Mhm.
Um, but that being said, I get the idea of like, if you have a kid, it changes things
Mhm.
because you're the protector for this kid, and you leaving puts that in danger. So I get it from that sense, but I just like narrative wise, I'm like I really like Tommy going first because it was like Tommy's such an interesting character. Like Tommy
Mhm.
going there gives us questions and kind of an insight, a little bit of what happened with him and Joel. Gives us a little bit of insight of his skills, his skill set, and why Tommy and Joel are, so good at what they do. And we get to see that skill set, in Ellie as well. And it's just more interesting when you have two people going for revenge and you see the compare and contrast, like what it does to you. And we get to see the compare and contrast from Ellie to Tommy. Whereas this version, it just seems more vanilla. It's less interesting. That being said, television wise, you don't have as much time. And I don't know how you would have spent more time to really put that story into fruition. I don't know
Yeah.
how you do that. So I think maybe you're right. It's more efficient to do it that way. But yeah, I'm like, it was narrative wise, it's more interesting. Tommy going first. All right.
All right, you ready for my last question?
Go for
How much are you ready to cry next week?
it. Happy tears? Sad tears?
Happy? Sad? I don't know. A little bit of both. A
It's
little bit of both.
yeah, I'm excited this I can't spoil anything, Michael. I'm
I
excited
know you
for it.
can't. That's the best part. I'm excited too.
My question
Um,
is because we know it's going to be the flashback. And for you guys who hasn't watched or hasn't played the game or watched the game, this is like the flashback of this game.
I had a
And
friend, my friend that's been. I'm going to interrupt real quick because I'm going to say something that's going to shock
yeah.
you. A good friend of mine is playing through the game right now.
Hmm.
He was actually getting really into it, and he hated the flashback because he wanted to go. He wanted to go out. He's like, I'm fucking shit up, and then it's just such a like a. It's like driving the
It
car
is.
like 55, and then all of a sudden you hit like 20-mile-an-hour traffic, and you're like, "Fuck!"
You're like,
But I was
yeah,
like,
day one.
and then all of a sudden you're just
What's
like,
this
"Oh,
shit?
yeah,
I don't know, man. Like I had the same like thoughts. Like, oh, I don't want a flashback. I don't want this. But I'm like,
I was the opposite. I was like, "Oh my god, that's my boy." Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything
I
else.
I'll just say this for those who haven't played the game. It is the few just joyous, happy moments in the game itself where you're just like, this was nice. This was a nice moment.
So
This
it's
was
like a little treat, a little
It was
treat.
cute. Yeah, like Neil Druckmann, man, he loves to give you what you want in the worst
But with a
fucking
little
way
knife twist at
possible.
the end. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just like, oh, you really want those two together? Yeah, for sure. We're gonna give you the
feel
scene.
their love.
We're gonna give you oh, yeah, there you go. We're gonna give you a whole like 20-30 minute flashback sequence where you get to feel the love between the father and daughter and just this really cute, sweet sequence. And then for the rest of the 40 minutes is just sheer torture and brutality. Like that's yeah. I hope I hope they do this episode. I hope they do this flashback well. I hope it's almost the entire flashback. I assume there's going to be a lot of Jackson lore in this, and assuming we're going to figure out what happened with Eugene. I'm
I think
excited.
so too. Yeah,
I'm
Eugene.
excited for this episode, but I'm really specifically excited for the location that Ellie and Joel go. I hope they take time. I hope they go slow, and I really don't want a whole lot of conflict in this episode. I kind of want the cutesy stuff. I want to feel happy this episode. That's why I'm not going to cry, Michael.
Well,
And if
you
it's
might.
going to cry, it's going to be happy tears because this is going to be my. I want the one happy episode. And I want to give it a 5.
I don't think happy episodes exist in this show, to be honest with you.
Episode 3, season 1. If you think about it,
but even then, that one's still kind of even all the happy stuff is still sad, though.
Yeah, but they got to live a loving life. They got to die old together in their arms. They chose how they died. If you think about it, it's the happiest ending you'll ever fucking get.
In that show, in this world, yeah.
No, just in general, like you die in your 60s because of a disease, and you choose when to leave with your loved one.
In your 60s? I don't want to be fucking 60 when I die. I better be like 80 at least.
60s in the apocalypse, Michael. Come on, don't get greedy. Saying.
That's.
Could you imagine being in the hospital?
Like you're in the apocalypse. Not even that. Like in the apocalypse, you're 40 and you're dying. You're like, I don't want to die. I'm only 40. Shut up, Steve. It's the apocalypse. Don't be so greedy. You got 40 long years.
I mean, Joel was in his 60s.
Was he? I thought he was like 50. Yeah.
He's
he
in
might
his
have
60s. In the show, they stated that he's 60.
How old do you think he was when he built the constructometer?
I assume that was a pre-apocalypse item.
Yeah, that seems kind of.
He kind of just took with him where he went, and that's how he knew exactly which buildings to go into because he did a constructometer.
That's why we didn't see the spores. He just knew. He was like, "That's a spore building. I can tell you."
That's why he didn't need a mask.
He did. Yeah, he was like, I'm not going in there. Look at that. That's fucking clearly that's spore central right there. The spores weren't always there. Which Joel just had like a fucking sixth sense. He'd look at a building and be like, also, it's either asbestos or spores. I don't care, but I ain't going in there.
Hey, Michael, you know what I thought of?
Sure, what's up?
When they fell into the basement full of spored zombies.
Mm-hmm.
This show is really going to have a trope of clickers, basement clickers. They've already done it once in KC.
But it makes sense. It does make total sense.
It does, I know. Mushrooms grow in dark places.
Mm-hmm.
It does make sense. And the game also has a thing with basements, so it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not a show thing. I'm just saying, like, it's just, like, if you blow up a basement, there might be a horde of clickers that come out and rip everybody apart.
Honestly, I feel like your best bet is drop a fucking bomb in the bottom and just see what happens.
Your best bet is just to shoot yourself in the head at that moment.
Well, but hear me out.
Okay,
if you're like on the
very grim this episode.
If you're on the top floor, you have an elevator shaft. It's dropping down like 9 floors, right? You're on the top floor. You're not trying to destroy the structure, right? You just want to like kill anything down there. Ooh, I just had a thought. I don't think this is a spoiler, but it's not a spoiler. Do you think we're gonna get the apartment complex still, or is that too much?
Oh, from day 2?
Yeah.
Oh no, this was the apartment complex. If the stalkers
yes,
show up.
No. God, I can't say shit. It's a season 3 thing, but
is it a season 3 thing? What apartment complex?
Think about who. I think it's an apartment complex.
Are you talking about
or it's like a hotel, maybe?
Oh, when in the game there's a section where our main characters have to go down a building because of a broken
Yes.
elevator. Yes, season three
Yes.
thing. I would
You
love to talk
think?
about it.
Without,
There's
but like, I'm saying, like, logistically, do you think they would do that? That'd be a huge set. I feel like maybe
oh
not though. CGI is a thing.
oh. I don't know.
I'm so torn if they would
That's a
actually do it or
season
not.
three question, man. We got to get to our ratings, NBC, MVB. You're like coming up with
Yeah, you're
future
right. You're right.
questions. Anyone who played the game, you're like, what are you talking about? Be like, I wish I could tell you. I'm not going to tell you. It's just a building. They go down in it, and there's a lot of clickers inside, and it's terrifying. I had to play it recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's terrifying. There's
That
spores.
part I didn't play it on Grounded, but I played it on the second top difficulty, and it was just like,
I played it on normal, and I was going fuck the entire time.
mm-hmm.
And there's bloaters in there. I love the game when they randomly just give you
fun
bloaters.
place.
When like the game just like here's a bloater for you, you're like, what? There's like in the part one, you like the big moments had bloaters, whereas like part two is just like, yeah, we'll just throw in a random bloater here and there, and you're like, all
Just
right,
cash.
going through. Oh shit, that's a bloater. Oh my. All right,
Yep.
ratings. I think I'm at like a 3 plus. I'm like it's good. It's the worst episode, but I'm like it's still
I
solid.
think you're right.
It doesn't tank anything. I think like
It
this
doesn't tank anything. I think it is redeemed by the last sequence specifically, is my opinion. Like,
it is the
if it
best.
wasn't for without that, if it wasn't without that, I would say it's like a 2. It's just not
I don't know if I can say it's a 2 without the scene. It just
with maybe a 2 plus. 2 plus, I think you would agree, or 3 low, like 3 minus 2 plus. I would say
uh,
without the Nora scene, I think that just detracts so much of the quality of the episode. Like, what did we spend like the first half of our pod talking about? It was literally just that confrontation.
yeah, and that's really what this episode was. I just wish there was better setup for it, and I wish they wouldn't have like done
Yeah,
the extra pieces. Like I don't need the spore talk. I could have done without it
I
because we
like
already
the
had
spore
tendrils.
talk.
I love spores. I love the spores in the fact sense of the game, and I would have loved it more than the tendrils. But I do enjoy the tendril aspect. I again, I just it didn't. I feel like it just took too much work to explain spores, and it didn't do much narratively speaking. Visually, it looked cool. Narratively, I'm like, just she just gets bit. That's it. So I don't know. 3 plus.
Now,
I
my
think it's
counterpoint would be as long as they don't. I think as long as they don't drop the spores after this, then it works. You know what I mean?
we didn't even
If
talk
they
about
just don't
Sarah.
bring it up ever again,
Oh, that's
what's
my.
up?
I just realized we didn't talk about Seraphites.
We didn't. There's a lot. There's a lot of ground to cover. Um, but
The Seraphites, I want to mention before we finish up.
mhm.
I wish they would have done a flashback more on them, because I want to learn more about them, and I want to know like.
Season 3, baby. That's season. That's
I
all
I
season
know
3.
it's season 3, but I wish instead of spores we would have just got more Seraphites, because that would have made like think of you know how like the guy and the little girl. Like, what if she didn't?
Yes.
What if they didn't die in the beginning? What if it was just more flashbacks of those two, and he was just teaching her how to like what the whistles mean, and like teaching like how to
I
shoot bow
like
and
it, but I
arrow.
kind of like that the
And
Seraphites are just. I
but
don't
like
know. They're always
imagine.
kind of doing their
But
own thing.
here's
I
the thing
guess.
though.
Like,
We don't know in the game what the whistles mean. Like I'm sure you could probably figure out which each whistle means, but it would really been really dope if they would have been like, this is what these whistles mean. The different sounds of these whistles mean these things, and you get to see a little bit more of their culture, a little bit them on their island that they're on, and
mhm.
then in the middle of the episode, we hear the whistle. That means intruder, shoot on sight, and then boom, Dina gets hit. And I'm like, that would have been so much cooler. Like, and we just got to spend a little bit more time with them, and we get to learn a little bit more about them. I thought it would
I
have been
just
better
think
than the
that'd be a little
sports.
bit too much show don't tell kind of thing. Like, we kind of already knew. Like, I don't
That's
know. I don't know.
that's quality writing. You show, don't tell. Why?
Or no, tell don't shell, I should say. Sorry, I got it
But
mixed
like,
up in my head.
but that's the thing. Like, you are showing it. You're just showing the scene of a little girl being taught the different whistles, and then in the show, it's shown, or you get to hear it, and you get to hear what the whistle means, and you're just like, wait, danger! There's intruders, and the shot's just on Dina and Ellie, and you get to see them get shot. Like, I think it would just have been more effective moments.
That's fair.
I don't know. I guess I want more Seraphites. I know it's a season 3 thing. As someone from the game, it is going to be a season 3 thing. I know we're going to get a lot more into it. I wish that flashback was something a little bit more important than just the lore of spores. All right, ratings 3 plus. Are you saying the same?
I'd say like 3. I think
That's
3 is
fair.
what I'd get. 3, but like 3 plus. The plus is definitely because of the Nora scene, which is one of my favorite scenes of the game.
The plus for
Just
me
because it's
is
such a
the plus for me is that like it's carried by the rest of the season. Really, this episode doesn't really stand on its own. But if you put in like the rest of it, like if you binge watch this show, you wouldn't be like, oh my god, I will watch everything but this episode. It's like, oh yeah, it's solid. I wouldn't rate this specific part like majorly, but I'm like, it works with the overall. That doesn't bring the season down for me. It's the worst episode from a week to week standpoint. All right, MVC. I already joked that it's Nora. Took a bunch for the team. It's not our team, or I guess not Ellie's and Dina's team, but very much took a bunch for the Wolves.
yeah.
What do you assume? Still day 3.
I think
I
honestly, I'd give her I'd give most valuable to Jesse, just because I mean, yes, was it a little bit contrived that he showed up, but plot wise and like how he showed up, he's like, we're getting you guys the fuck out of here, and like him kind of calling out how absolutely stupid it is to go charging guns blazing into a city filled with people you know nothing about just to get revenge.
NBC in the sense of like he was the most important character in the sense of their survival. I'm going to give it, I feel like it's Ellie just in terms of narrative. This is kind of her episode. And I also give MVP, most valuable performer, to Belle Ramsey. I thought she did really well in that scene. I thought
At the last scene
her
with
just
the
staring down.
Yep. God
I
damn.
know. And it's just like, you could just see the rage. And I'm like, ooh, we got evil Abby. Or not evil
Oh,
Abby.
just her also saying, you doomed us both infected. Are we? And she's like, psych. It's like the meme of the old dude saying, I'm going to need a hospital for you. When he pulls on the pistol, he's like,
I love that.
I don't need it.
All right, so NBC, you say Jesse. I think Jesse has a good argument. I think it's Ellie for me in terms of like character, but like in terms of like who saved the day, yeah, it's fucking Jesse easily. Most interesting, most like valuable in the sense of like narrative wise, Ellie. I think just by default. Most valuable villain. I think person wise, we have to say Nora because it's like the only person.
I think she should have not have antagonized Ellie. I think she would have been able to get out of that situation alive if she had less antagonized her.
But like her
also not jump down
antagonized
a spore-filled elevator.
that works too. But like her distracting, but like wasn't that her distraction for Ellie to get away?
Yeah,
Right?
I mean it was because she was antagonizing her, and she was like, and then that's when she threw the water at her and like, shoot her. I just feel like there's maybe I don't know. We all like to think we do better in those situations, but I feel like that's probably the best strat we have there.
Yeah, I think Nora handled it perfectly fine. Like if someone has you at gunpoint and you know very well that this person probably does not have plans or intentions to keeping you alive after the second location that they're bringing you, yeah, you don't go with them. You get out of there as much as possible. And she did that. Did she survive? Did she get away? No. She failed in that aspect. She failed because she jumped on an elevator and it collapsed and it doomed her. But I don't know. I thought it was the right move.
What was her plan if she had it? If it hadn't collapsed?
I mean, if Ellie got shot,
That's true. Yeah. Just hope she could like get in there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Nora's plan was bad. I mean, she had the backup. She was in her home territory. She just ran into the wrong area. Yeah. She fucked up. And that's kind of life, you know. If you're running for your life, you're not thinking the larger. You're just moving forward,
Yeah.
and it fell. She fell into a spore infected area, and there was no hope. Still think it would have been better if she would have fell into some infected, got bit, and then that was it. Keep the red lights, keep the cool mushroom background, but you know, that's just me. Didn't think I would hate the spores. I was really excited for the spores. It was.
I think if they come back in, you'll like them. I think it's when they got introduced was just a very
I
on the
I,
nose.
I don't think they did well with it. That's just me. All right. Well, Michael, anything else to add to Under Your Love?
Oh, gotta add another oop to the.
Oh.
There we go. Now you're back.
Anything else to add for season 2, episode 5, Under Her Love? It's a better episode
I like that
title.
you're making your own titles.
Yeah, I'm doing a better job.
I like
Under
Feel
Her
Her
Love. Feel Her Love? Yeah. Okay. I did
Feel her love as the sickle drags into your tummy.
I did genuinely forget it. But Under Her Love. Better title. Would have been a better joke. I don't know. Anyway.
I got nothing. I'm excited for the next episode, though. We got 2 episodes left, my dude.
I hope they do it well. I hope I'm not this grim. I hope I'm not this hateful towards it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm not. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Michael. This is your host,
buddy.
Jake Sherbing, signing off. Please follow, like, and subscribe. Tell your friends for all your Last of Us hatred for this one particular episode in Spores.
Feel Jake's love. Feel the Spores love.
Feel Jake's
feel the love.
Feel the love under Jake's love of Spores. All right, we're going to end it there. Bye.
Peace out, guys.